Project OR is a 48-hour design competition held at the Salt Palace during the Outdoor Retailer Summer Market Show.
This is, I think, going into the third year that we have done this design competition, all that honors the raw materials and kind of the quiet story behind the show. You know, Outdoor Retailer is a show where finished goods brands show their next year's products to buyers and media with the hopes of increasing their sales and driving innovation.
Project OR is a design competition that exposes up-and-coming designers to all of the innovative design, technical fabrics, and materials on display at the Outdoor Retailers Convention. 5 of the top fashion design schools from throughout the country are chosen by Project OR to select a student to represent their school, in addition to a contestant selected through an online competition held on Malachi.com. The 6 promising design students are then flown to Salt Lake City, Utah, and given a tour of the market and all of the latest outdoor materials. They're then presented with a design brief to create a prototype garment that incorporates performance and eco-friendly materials and has a practical application for the outdoor market. They then have only 48 hours to cut, press, sew, and construct their final prototype garment, ending with a final judging by 5 industry leaders.
All right, designers, welcome to day 1 of Outdoor Retailer and day 1 of Cycle 7 of Project OR. Right now, we're gonna hit the floor and I'm gonna take you around on a little tour and show you what the show's all about. Let's go. So the first day of the show, the designers were taken on a tour of the show floor before the show opened.
I was amazed at how big the trade show is. It's just, you walk through it and you think, oh, okay, this room is gigantic, this must be the trade show. And then you go, across the hall and there's another room just as gigantic. It's incredible the amount of companies they have.
It just come together. It was really neat. It was just so great how every brand really had their own little world.
So this year we had 2 new presenting sponsors. We had Aventura and Austin Douglas. Aventura is a finished female clothing line, and Austin Douglas is a promoting industry and manufacturing in the county, Douglas County in Nevada.
We find that the creativity here in the design area, coupled with the rapid prototype and the quick turn, are real elements that we'd like to bring to a cut and sew hub in Douglas County.
We knew when we launched Aventura that we wanted it to have a foundation, or no pun intended, but the fabric of the brand to be an eco brand.
The backstory behind that is all the design and sourcing and materials that are the ingredients that go into those finished goods brands. So the design brief just details to some level what you're going to have to be working on for the next 2 days.
The design brief was to design a piece for Aventura, which is a lifestyle brand for women ages 30 and up. It had to be sustainable, and it had to be something that was missing in their line.
We've got a lot of room for many different designs. We can design a top, skirt, dress, or pants, or even a second layer.
We're being judged actually on creativity and originality, sustainable design, the marketability of the product, and just our workmanship.
We've also never really had them design activewear, which Aventura is activewear as opposed to a technical garment. So this was a completely different challenge, and we were really excited to see what they were going to come up with.
They tell you what you have to design for, and then they say go, and you're like, holy crap, I have like 3 hours to come up with a design and make an illustration. For the skirt, I want it to be real movable. So this is for an active, like 30-plus-year-old woman. So the design, it's gonna have a lot of flow, almost like a dress, but it's gonna be a skirt. I need to finish coloring this up and get the board made. So judging that I have less than an hour, I'd say I'm way behind.
I decided to do a wrap dress. I noticed when I went over to their booth, they didn't have any wrap dresses, and I think every line needs a wrap dress. They also didn't have a whole lot with sleeves, and I know the 30-plus crowd really likes to wear sleeves, kind of cover up the arms, so I have like a little cap sleeve on it, and I have a contrasting color banding that goes with it as well.
I was expecting, okay, make a jacket, go. And that's a very specific thing to make. But then it was like, find something missing in their product line, find something that you can add to it. So there's just so many things to choose from. So I thought that was difficult.
I did some sketches of different ideas and stuff and sort of settled on doing, working with wovens. And I picked this because there was enough yardage and I sort of thought it was a fun print with the stripe and the texture and something that Aventura might like. And decided to do a dress with it. So right now I'm just sketching and getting a final sketch done out. And then from there I'll go into the pattern making and draping to make the actual garment.
The minute they gave us the design brief, I instantly thought hoodie. So I wanted to do something that fit their brand but kind of pushed the limits a little bit. So I made something a little bit more fashion forward than what they normally do, which the judges didn't really respond to with our boards. So I completely changed the idea.
When I showed my initial design and my concept board to the judges, they loved it. And I mean, I won the concept board contest. So one of the judges said, you know, I'm most excited about seeing this garment out of all of the garments. And I was like, cool. So I just had to complete it. That was, to me, that was kind of the biggest challenge because, I mean, I can come up with all these awesome designs, but I didn't know how to make it. So it was like, oh my God, I have to actually make this now. So it was kind of like a few hours of panic. Like, wow, I hope I can actually pull this off.
So once the judges have given their feedback on the concept boards, the designer's set to work, and from that point on, they have 48 hours to complete their project.
Today has been quite a day, and it's just starting. I've been doing some pattern making and draping, and they're both working out. So I've just been experimenting with a few different design methods to get what I want out of the fabric.
So far I've just been draping my dress. I've done the back and part of the front. I think the only problem I'm gonna have is cutting it close on fabric. I don't have a whole lot of the same color fabric.
It was crazy. I kept telling myself in the back of my head, like, don't relax, like, don't get comfortable because you're behind. I knew that there's always going to be something that's going to come up. And I'm bummed that it's already 6 o'clock because I'm not where I should be. And I knew coming into this that time would be really bad for me.
Thank you for attending Outdoor Retailer Summer Market. Day 1 of the show is now closed.
The second day of Project OR, basically everyone came back to their stations between 7:30 and 9 and continued working on their prototype.
Stayed up till like 2 last night. I was having a lot of creative block, so I went to sleep, and now I think I have a great idea. I think I'm gonna take the hood out because I really like it and I made it work, but I don't feel like it will fit with their market. So I'm changing it more to a simpler dress that would fit more of their market.
I noticed you're using Sirona.
I am. I really like it, so I thought I'd use it. And someone from DuPont actually came over and told me that it's eco-friendly, that it's recycled in some way?
No, it uses renewable resources.
Okay,
so it's a synthetic fiber, most of which are made using petrochemical. And we use plant-based resources or a sugar source to make one of the green ingredients in it.
Oh, great.
So it's renewable, able to be recycled at the end of its useful life. So unfortunately, there's not a lot of recycling facilities these days for apparel, but we're working on that.
Welcome to Now. We were founded on the principle that we wanted to produce the lowest environmental footprint product that we possibly could. We wanted to make it functional, so this is as functional as any outerwear you'll see on the floor of the show. And the other thing about it is that it's not meant for a specific sport. We all believe that you buy one really good waterproof breathable jacket and you can wear it for any sport you do.
Many people think of performance fabrics as something that it might be harmful to the world, to the environment, but actually, you know, we do try to be as eco-friendly as possible. We actually have adopted an organic farm, where that's where they grow the wheat, and the vegetables.
The outdoor industry supply chain starts off with the raw materials, which consist of polymer or monomer chains, harvested, like corn, or created by petrochemical companies, like nylon, then treated, spun, woven, cooked, dried, or extruded to produce textiles, which are in turn cut, sewn, assembled, glued, layered, or laminated to produce articles of clothing or protection, then marked by name brands big and small to be bought by retail stores and sold to the end consumer, who then uses the gear and recycles, reuses, and trashes the product to end its life.
In addition to using less petrochemicals, it also reduces or saves 30% less energy and 63% greenhouse gas emissions, or CO2, when compared to the production of an equal amount of nylon.
The designers have a lot of the materials supplied for them, but they also have the option of sourcing directly from the show floor and going right to our exhibitors and getting whatever they need to create their masterpiece.
I'm working on my jeans and I said I'd be done like at 1 o'clock, and now it's, so what time? I have no idea. This is the jean that I'm making, and it is Scholler fabric, and I wasn't going to use it, but she came by and she totally sold me on it because it's eco-friendly and it's the blue sign, which means that all the workers they don't have to wear masks or anything. It's all really healthily made.
I still haven't sewn anything on my final. Getting so close to starting though. I'm about to cut out my final fabrics because I have them traced. And then I'll start sewing.
A lot of people were making their first patterns out of like a totally different fabric just to kind of practice, and I ended up just draping it all out of my normal fabric, and then if there's like a piece of it like the sleeve or the elastic waistband that also had to be transferred into the top of the dress, I made like a miniature version of it. And so I did practice that with a miniature version in the same fabric so I wouldn't waste too much, but make sure that it drapes right, it looks good, and it fits right. I had to redo the bodice. It's just very weird the way you have to fit it because it's going to be fitting on your hips and also on the bust. And so I've never done that before, and I really just trial and error. The first thing I did didn't work, so I'm just trying something else now.
Last night is still going on because I haven't gone to sleep yet, so, and neither is JP, so. I was really stressed at like, I don't know, 4 or something this morning before I sewed this together. I was like almost near panic, like, oh my God.
Last night was good. I got most of my dress done. Now I'm just finishing it up. I slept about 5 hours both nights compared to other people not sleeping. Today I'm just hand stitching and finishing off some edges, and then I'm gonna redo my board.
Well, I finished my dress pretty early yesterday, so I decided to make a hat. It also doubles as a bike helmet. It's got a crash-resistant material layered with an impact-resistant material.
All right, there's 15 minutes left. Designers, you have 15 minutes left to finish your designs.
I never thought I was gonna finish. You get so tired, you're working, you're so tired, you're doing really stupid things that just add to the time. So I sewed a seam like 6 times, and each time it was wrong, and I couldn't figure it out, and I brought it to Melanie, and I was like, what's wrong with this? She looks at me, she's like, Amy, it's upside down. Like, oh, all right, I'll go sew it a 7th time.
I was working until the last minute. There would have been something to do up until they like ripped it out of my cold dead hands or something, you know. It's like, I think there's always something to do.
Designers, that's it. Scissors down. Project OR's number 7 is done. Thank you very much. Great job, everybody.
So after Scissors Down on day 3 at noon, the designers have 1 hour to clean up their boards and formulate their presentations for the judges. And after that hour, they are put before the judges one at a time to show off their finished garment and to explain what they've done and why they've done it. All right, it's time to start the judging for Project OR Cycle7. Let's meet the judges. First we have Alan Yu from Westcomb Outerwear, Jen Kesey from A Little Bird, Tom Williamson from Aventura, Sally Lowen from WGSN, and Greg Bagney from Alien Truth Communications. Let's see what the designers have to show us.
Hi, I designed a wrap dress for the Aventura line. The fabric, the green fabric is 100% organic cotton, and this print fabric is bamboo and modal. It has a tie that wraps around the back, and it can also wrap around the front too. And it also has pockets here too. It's still conservative since it has sleeves and it has some coverage, but it's still feminine and still fun. I know when I presented, I definitely left out a couple details that I wanted to cover because I wasn't so prepared when I presented, but overall, I think it went pretty good.
Nice execution. I love the wrap, the multifunctional, being able to do it in the front or the back. Great detailing.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah.
I was really proud of my final project. I thought it fit into the line very well, and it definitely fit to our target market that was required in our brief. And the judges also seemed to like it pretty well.
From the first boards we did, I took their advice and tried to make it more for what they want. We were supposed to fill a gap in your current offering with this project, and I saw a lot of knits, and I didn't see so many wovens, and I didn't see that many dresses, so I thought I would do both and do a woven dress. When I was designing this, I was thinking about comfort and style, and the comfort comes from this breathable fabric on the top, and even though it's tight, it's water resistant but still very breathable. It fights off stains, so you don't have to wash it as much, it doesn't get dirty, and it's blue sign approved, so it's very sustainable.
Good color, I like the blue.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. And I think you've made some really good changes from concept to execution, definitely.
You know, I am at an art school, and most of the design I do is sort of fashion design, and I realized that this isn't the place for that, so I needed to scale it back a little bit for marketability and just for the overall vibe that Aventura is giving out and the customer. Like, I made it more conservative, and I made it my design, you know, more geared towards what they wanted.
I'm really happy with what I was able to accomplish in 48 hours. This is definitely like a light, airy shirt, and with the skirt, it'd be great for hot summer days. I think when I first told you guys about this, I wanted this to be a real movable like piece, the skirt. So I think here, like you can see, like there would be movement, and also it wraps over to the side here. So that way, if wind does come around, everything is still kept hidden. I was really relieved to have it all done and to like put it in their hands.
Great job.
Yeah, I think it looks great.
You stayed really true to your drawing, pretty true to your drawing, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think I was able to do a fairly good job of recreating what I had in my head and maintaining everything that I thought and hoped it would do.
I was a little bit nervous about the presentation, just because I felt like I had so much to say. I think presentations are about being concise, and I really struggle with that. I'm really lengthy when I speak. I kind of thought that what Aventura needed was an updated silhouette. It just seemed like most things are a little bit on the boxy side. And I know the target market is a little bit more conservative, but I think they still want to, you know, have some curves in there, included into their wardrobe.
So on the skirt, on your concept, you had originally talked about bringing that up.
I was limited with the amount of red fabric, so I could have made it a little bit longer, but it would definitely have to be kind of a little summer cover-up, bathing suit cover-up, because it's a bit short.
It's got a great line to it. It really has a nice shape. Great job. You obviously still, stayed very true to your original concept and translated it well. So I think the use of that fabric, certainly because it's so lightweight, it would go, as you said, for a cover-up because it would be quick drying.
After that, I just let it go, I did the best I could.
When final judging came, I was completely fine. And then Eric comes up to me and goes, "Oh, are you nervous?" And I was like, "No, I'm too tired to be nervous." And he goes, "Yeah, I mean, it's just $5,000. And I was like, Now I'm nervous. I feel like this gives any body a great silhouette. Gives a nice baby doll kind of shape, but still drapey. So that way, like a bigger figured woman or a smaller figured woman, it would look great on both of them. It also has pockets on both sides and the inseams. So it's great for a mom if she's carrying around toys, just needs to throw something in her pocket, doesn't want to grab her purse. The yellow is 100% cotton, and the stripe is 100% bamboo. So they're both natural fibers, which is great for the environment. I also designed a hat that also doubles as a bike helmet, but it also looks really nice as well. So you can wear it as a regular hat or as a bike helmet. The string in the back, you can wear it as the bow, or you can untie it and put it under your chin to secure it if you're riding your bike. I really liked my dress. I think it would look great on just about any woman. My hat, I liked a lot, but I feel like that was more of a stretch for me, where I took the chance to throw that in there because I wasn't happy with doing just a dress.
I like the way you've taken on board what we said and really simplified your design. You know, your concept board, you had a lot going on, and I think you've really pared it back, and that's, you know, that really does well.
I was the last to be judged, and I had a little presentation, and I talked about my garment, and I felt okay about that. I asked what sets the Aventura brand apart from everyone else, and the answer I got, thank you Tom, was in the details. So I designed this denim capri around details. I have this great cotton facing. It's got a really nice print, and so it's on the cuffs here, and then I used it in all the pockets. And then it had a cute little bird on it, so I cut the coin pocket out so it could look like there was a little bird popping out.
Did you get an idea from Scholler, cost-wise fabric? Is it?
You probably might want to replace this wonderful denim with something a little more cost-effective, but it was great to work with for this. Like, it was a nice opportunity.
I really like that you've brought in this denim capri. You know, in Los Angeles, we see so many people hiking up Runyon Canyon. They want to wear something that looks like just a day wear piece, and that is perfect with all the qualities that you've suggested with the fabric has. Yeah, it's a shame that you might have to change the fabric. But
I think the Aventura woman would appreciate, you know, the little details, and, you know, would feel good and comfortable in this, and would also feel good about buying an eco-friendly product.
After all the presentations have been given, the judges start the deliberation. They go through each design and discuss what they like and what they don't like, and from that, they pick the winner.
Everybody was super creative. There were kind of pieces of designs that you had that we all love, but ultimately there has to be a winner. And so I'd like to do the runner-up first, and the runner-up is Nicole from Oklahoma State.
I'm glad I was the runner-up. I'm definitely glad, you know, being runner-up is better than not placing. And, you know, I definitely got recognition, and a lot of people got to see that I was the runner-up and got noticed by a lot of companies.
Without further ado, the winner of the 2011, is it Cycle7?
Cycle7.
Cycle7.
That's right.
Is Amy from San Francisco State. Congratulations.
Heart started beating like crazy. It the prize is such an amazing opportunity. I just like was blown away.
What she ended up doing, it seems like it was great for the company. And same thing for the runner-up. Like, I think both of them had great designs.
It was nice to hear from Tom that she was in his booth multiple times, really looking at the product and trying to find the holes and doing her research. She did an excellent job of, you know, what Aventura is all about, which is detailing and feminine detailing and doing things very technical but active.
The youth and energy that this group brings is something that is actually pretty refreshing. I think this group is probably one of the most talented groups that we've seen in the last few years, and they learned some valuable lessons about that creativity only lives when you build, ship, and then check it off the retail shelf.
I don't really think that I lost, because coming to Project OR is such a great opportunity. I've met so many people, made so many contacts.
I think I got some good connections I got a lot of good business cards, you know, people saying, I know a lot of people in the industry, like, give me a call, I love your work.
Preparing to come to Project OR just gave me a great learning experience, and then being here and meeting all the different vendors and the different people who potentially in my future could give me a job.
I learned a lot this weekend. It's one of those things where you'll never learn this in the classroom. So this was actually like, man, it was the best thing ever.
This year, Project OR Cycle7 was really a great show for us, and we look forward to a lot more exciting and new challenges in the future.
Project OR Cycle7 introduced a whole new level of challenge to the designers and delivered inspiration to the industry. The competition continues to reach new heights each show, and we can't wait to see what is coming in 2012 from the active outdoor industry's very own Project OR Design Challenge.